Hello, guys. We're back to Freedom Reigns Ministry. Tonight, we're having some dinner, and well, I'm not feeling too good. I've been feeling a little, nauseous. Maybe somebody's pregnant. Perhaps, of course, Justin is pregnant, but, who knows? And I'm not pregnant for a fact because I'm not sexually active, and I already had my period. Not to talk about it while we're having dinner, but literally, like, I'm eating really slowly because I'm just like, a lot of times whenever after I eat, I really do vomit, and I hope this doesn't ruin your appetite, but yeah, it's like I'm praying that I don't, because I really need food in my body, and I pray and pray for those that are suffering from anorexia. I hope that you can get a great meal, and you can just understand the importance of a meal. Okay, so this is not coming up the way it was coming up, and we had some really good stuff. So make sure you read the words. Make sure you're eating properly. If you want your wife to survive, and if you want yourself to survive, it's very important that you feed her properly and you eat properly. If your wife loves you, she would know better. People, if you're going to follow Jehovah, it's very important that you choose to stop eating animals. Jehovah made these creatures, and he made these creatures, those that want to argue with you about not eating meat, about choosing to eat meat, those people, don't even waste your time talking to them. Don't even breathe with them. Don't even be in the same room with them. Like, be in your apartment. Maybe you guys are in the same complex. That's different. It doesn't count. But if you're in your apartment like me, I honestly can't even have people in my house preparing meat. It's a ritual. Once you understand that what you're doing is performing a ritual, you'll be like, oh my God. You don't want to be a part of that ritual. You don't want to be a part of eating unhealthy. You don't want to eat blood. You're not a carnivore. You can, if animals, if elephants can eat peanuts and survive off of peanuts alone, imagine what you can survive off of, like literally eating probiotics, eating protein with probiotics in it, which kills bacteria. You know where that bacteria comes from? Meat eating. Meat takes years to digest from your body. So if you're going to be a Jehovah's person, like, I can't be married to a meat eater. If Justin even showed up, he would have to be a vegan, because if I was to even kiss him, ew, like he would be like he probably has a piece of chicken stuck in his teeth. Like, I can't, like, I'm not saying I don't love him, but your husband needs to change. Literally, if you are a Jehovah follower, you're going to be vegan. Even Jesus didn't eat meat. I don't remember a day Jesus even passed around meat. He passed around bread. Probably snuck and ate it, but I doubt it. I don't think Jesus ate meat. I feel like Jesus did not eat meat. I feel like he ate, just bread, but I don't know. I wasn't back in the days. I wasn't there in the past to know for sure, but once we're waking up to realizing that the decisions that we make affect our lives, that's when we'll really start to make better decisions in life. When it comes to food, when it comes to friends, when it comes to your surroundings. I know a lot of people don't have a choice. They have a job to do. Listen, a lot of times Jehovah is going to ask you to quit your job, and and where are you going to go? And listen, my door is only open to people that are willing to help, and it's only open to people that are willing to be vegan, and that's all. And it's not that big in here, but all I'm saying is like in the future, whenever I get older and mature and have a little bit more money, I'm willing to adopt, but I'm not adopting a bunch of other children. I know my heart, what God is asking me to adopt. Those, the young, the young white boys that are, that are being mistreated in the Black community specifically, that have been mistreated in the white community as well, because there are a lot of them that are telling me that their parents are white, but their parents are not treating them very well, and they're forcing them to be a person that they don't want to be, and they admire the freedom that the African American community has, the fact that they're not being pressured to do certain activities, and they love that, but they don't understand the importance of structure. I would never force you. If you were my adopted son or my adopted daughter, I would never force you. I'm not really too I love adopting daughters and everything, but girls kind of have an attitude that I'm not really fond of, and I love like daughters, but only like my daughters, like my child, like that from birth, from my stomach. Those are the only daughters that I like. Like, I love my daughter. You know, I can deal with her because she's my seed. But if it's just an adopted child, I don't think I'm really interested in like adopting like girls and stuff like that, just because because I can't see myself being around a girl that has a certain attitude. She might have a certain spirit, a certain energy that I can't handle, and I would hate to, so Jehovah is just telling me the specific their boys, because back in the Jehovah says back in the days they were killing a lot of boys, and he feels bad that they were killing a lot of boys, and it was not good that they were killing a lot of the boys, and they say let go of the boys, let go of the boys. And so he's telling me, if you were to adopt children, I would want you to adopt the boys, and he's specific when he says he wants me to adopt the Caucasian ones, because a lot of them are being mistreated, and that's what I'm hearing, and that's what these angels are telling me. They're being mistreated in secret. And every time I come out, they always come out. It's like they're trying to talk to me and tell me something. And every time they try to tell me something, someone always gets in the way. And, they trying to, like, they telling me, like, the African American community is trying to pull me away from them. And which is definitely true. I won't lie, because they're like, oh, you're on their side, this and that. Well, it's not that I'm on their side. It's whoever God chose me to be with and chose me to be around. I can, help them. And it's like the most beautiful ones are always the ones that run up to me, and they feel safe around me, and I'm like, okay, well, there are things I have to be ready to do any adoption if I'm going to be adopting anybody. And the sad thing is they're not adopting adults. They're like, if the person is like 17 and older, or if the person is like 13 and older, they're not really adopting them. They're adopting like a lot of the younger, like my daughter. They adopted my daughter at 3 years old, and they made sure they adopted her at 3 years old because they were able to shape and mold her. So a lot of the boys they're leaving behind, and they're telling me that they're getting adopted by some Spanish people, and they're being mistreated by them. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so even the older ones, like, remember the guy that named Casey? So Casey, white people, you have to understand white people's language. White people speak in spirit, and white people, they speak in action. And so Casey was in love with me, and a lot of people, and the minute they found out me and Casey were something, everybody wanted me out. They were trying to turn Casey gay. I don't know if you guys have been following my channel. I definitely deleted a lot of those videos because I was being dogged out on the videos, and they were like, people were so ignorant. They were like, oh, she should be thrown out. She should be this. I bet you they're watching these videos right now, and they were like, wow, she's living so much better. Like, yeah, so they were mistreating Casey. And Casey was telling me, and I was like, oh, are you, I was like, sometimes I was drinking. So back in the days, I was like, I fell in love with Casey. So I was like, are you sleeping with them? So he was around a bunch of Spanish girls, right? And they were like just, around him or whatever. And so I was like, are you sleeping with them? He was like, nah. He was like, no, I'm not. But but he said it like, nah, like, trust me. But then I was like, so Casey, I heard Casey's girlfriend's black. So Casey, hopefully she's nice. She's probably a pretty mixed girl. They say she was pretty. So I'm glad. If she's good to him, I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm not into Casey anymore. No matter how much those feelings try to sneak up on me, I'm not into Casey anymore. But I do want Casey to feel better. And he's very sweet. Now, what you need to understand is white guys are raised by their fathers to be the best they can be, right? So they feel like they have nowhere else to go, because they know that in the AA community, a lot of them end up going to seek for help in the AA community, but they get abused. And then it's like, what do we do? Where do we run? If our parents are sacrificing their parents, like the Jewish people, their parents are sacrificing them to their gods. They don't like being circumcised. They think it hurts. And now I'm sitting here like, circumcision is not a bad decision. It's just, can we get some numbing cream? I think they have some numbing cream, because I want my sons to be circumcised, because there is some dirty stuff that sits in uncircumcised penis. And so there's a lot of stuff we need to talk about, guys. And so to be continued.